Hi, this is Joanne Pong. I'm a physical therapist who specializes in chronic pain. One of the most common questions that we get asked with our patients, and sometimes even other, random patient who's been trying to look for a solution, is this: what do you do, or what can you do when your pain is so unbearable? Because I am sure that some of you have those days where you just don't know what to do with yourself because the pain is just so bad. So one of the first things that I always encourage patients to do is breathe properly. Now, I'm sure you've heard that. That's nothing new. But what I want you to emphasize is the exhale. So I call it, you breathe in for 2 seconds, but you breathe out for 4 seconds. Now, why do I want to emphasize breathing out? Because when you breathe out, physiologically, your muscles have to relax. And that's what you're trying to achieve. It is for your muscles to relax. So when you take a deep breath, you don't have to go so deeply. You can just take a couple of seconds, but then the exhale is, and you will just feel the whole body relax when you do that. So give it a try. The second thing that I want you to try to do during your really bad days is to do very gentle stretches. And again, I understand it's nothing new, but there is a little bit of a difference in what I'm about to tell you. So let's say you have a neck problem and you can barely move your neck. And so one of the stretches that you are probably going to do is to turn your head one direction and then turn your head the other direction. And very likely, if you've learned this from a physical therapist, if you Googled it, they're going to tell you, okay, you do so many stretches to one side and then so many stretches on the other side. But how I would like you to try it is when you're about to do the stretch, I want you to determine which one is the easy side, okay? So you take the time to find out which way is easier. Now let's say it's easier to turn to the right. Then the one that is easier is the first one you're going to do, okay? So you're going to turn and stretch the easy side. You're going to do that, hold it for 20 seconds, and then you go back to neutral, and you are going to repeat it to the easy side for another 20 seconds, and then go back to neutral. I would like you to turn to the direction of ease for 3 repetitions, 20 seconds each, before you would consider going to the tight side. And when you go to the tight side, I want you to do it just once. I know it doesn't seem to make sense, but I just want you to give it a try and see how it helps. So the best way to figure out if it helps for you is after you've done 3 repetitions of 20 seconds on the easy side, and you do 1 repetition of 20 seconds on the tight side. After you've done that, I want you to retest the tight side, and just don't stay there any longer than just a couple of seconds, just to see if it helped. And chances are it is going to help you. So the third one that I like to recommend is this. A lot of times when people are in pain, they tend to just sit still or lie down. I actually recommend that you reposition. So in other words, if after 20 minutes of sitting it becomes painful, then I want you to stand up if that's the urge to do. So you stand up, walk around a little bit, and then sit down again, and just do a repetition of that, where whatever your body is telling you to do, you do it for a few minutes, okay? This repositioning, or the constant repositioning, actually allows your body to relax. Again, give that a try, and hopefully it will help you. The other thing that I want you to do is, if you have access to a pool, get in the pool. But instead of focusing on strengthening and exercising and talking about the core, I just want you to walk. That's it. And it doesn't have to be so much. Walk forward to your tolerance, and then walk backward to your tolerance again, and then walk sideways. That's all you need to do. There are certain things that happen to the body when you walk where it's a more general way of moving instead of focusing on the body part that is very, very beneficial. So it's what I call, it's like a functional way of exercising rather than doing an actual exercise. So I hope that helps. Oh, and lastly, if you have a choice between cold and warm application, I would highly recommend that you do the cold application, okay? And don't pat it so much with, like a towel. Just use like a thin sheet of like a pillowcase so that it is extremely cold. When that is, that's a really good way to reduce your pain. There's obviously some exception to the rule where people say it will get, it will actually make them worse. So if you are one of those people where cold will make you worse, then definitely don't do that. But for the majority of people, I do recommend that you use ice instead of heat. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions at all, again, we are chronic pain specialists. The idea with chronic pain is you are no longer dealing with a problem that is showing in your x-rays or MRI. Rather, you are dealing with the compensations of how it is like to be living in pain. So that is now your problem. And if you look at it from that standpoint, you will realize that there is actually hope for getting better.